So my dad died in 2000, a day before his 65th birthday. Um, it was February the 2nd, I think that's Groundhog Day, isn't it? Um, he collected books, and I inherited a box of those. And one of the books, on the front cover, it said, "Raising Rabbits in the Dordogne in Your Retirement." As far as I'm aware, he'd never been to France before, and this was just, I guess, one of his plans that I never heard about. My dad was in the Royal Navy, and we travelled around with him. We grew up in various parts of the world. And this is a photograph of me and my dad, Tony, in 1962 in Malta. Slima, I think, maybe, the beach. I was quite upset at the time when my dad died, and I wanted to make some work about it. I didn't really know how to do it, what to do. We didn't have any film of him, certainly video. Unlike now, everyone's got video of everyone all the time. But I didn't have any, and I wanted somehow to animate him somehow, and get close to him again. And my idea, later on in 2000, I made this piece, which was a photograph and with me superimposed in video over him. And my idea was I was going to ask him questions, the questions I never asked. But unfortunately, they ended up looking like there was an advert on television at the time. I think it might have been for Doritos, and with mouths superimposed over funny vegetables and things. And it was just, what I made was just ridiculous, and I didn't show them to anybody. And they just sat in my studio, since I thought I would try again to get close to him. And so I'll give it another go. I can't remember if he knew that he had Alzheimer's at the time of our wedding. We got married in 1997. I remember his anxiety about the wedding. I don't think he wanted to go. He was worried that he wouldn't remember anyone's name. He told me he had trouble finding the right words when people spoke to him. And I think he thought that maybe they would think he was being rude. So he was quite concerned about the whole thing. But it went ahead, and we had a lovely time in a suburb of Edinburgh called Portobello, where we were living at the time. And so my dad had quite a nice time. We didn't make him make a speech or anything. And he got quite drunk, I think. My dad never drank, really. I don't know if it's a Navy thing or not, but, for instance, he was quite a shy man, and, if he came into a room with women in it, he wouldn't sit down. He would stand against the wall with his hands behind his back, like the officers' mess. But he got quite drunk at our wedding, and my mum told us this story about it afterwards. And when they were coming back to their hotel from Portobello Town Hall, where our wedding was, we were brought up Catholics, and already we were a bit worried that we weren't getting married in the church, and but my mum went along with it, and we when she was coming back from our kind of wedding party, she said that my dad was so drunk it was like the Stations of the Cross, which is a funny kind of image if you know what that is. She eventually got him back to the hotel, and unfortunately he was violently sick on the doorstep of the hotel. So my mum was so embarrassed, she pulled him out again and dragged him down the street to the car and made him sleep in the car all night till about 7 or something. I think they needed to go to the toilet and they were too embarrassed to go to the hotel. So she remembered there was a public toilet at one end of Portobello, and they hobbled along there. But because it was Sunday morning, it was closed for some reason. And then she remembered there was another one at the other end, and they ran right the whole length of Portobello as fast as they could to the second one, and it was closed. So they jumped into a taxi and asked the taxi driver to take them to the nearest public toilet, which they managed to get to, luckily. All back in time to Portobello, to the church there, for Mass at 10 o'clock. She said everything was okay after that.